Hello, I'm Sonja Petek, a survey project manager at the Public Policy Institute of California, where I work on the statewide survey. I'd like to talk today about some of the key findings from our recently released survey on Californians and higher education. This survey was conducted in late October and includes interviews with about 2,500 California adults interviewed on landline and cell phones in 6 different languages. This is the 4th annual survey on higher education. Several important themes emerged from the survey. The first I'd like to discuss is the growing concern about state funding. California's higher education system is comprised of 3 branches: California Community Colleges, California State University, and the University of California. Together, they make up the 3rd largest area of state spending. And although spared from budget cuts in the recently released state budget, all 3 branches have seen significant reductions in state funding since the onset of the financial crisis. Californians have taken note. They are increasingly likely to say that the level of state funding for higher education is not enough. This has risen 17 points since 2007 to 74% today. Californians give good or excellent ratings to each of the 3 branches, but 2 and 3 believe that educational quality will suffer if the state makes budget cuts. We also find that a majority of Californians would like the state to spend more in this area, even if it means less money for other state programs. This brings me to my second point. What would Californians be willing to do to maintain current funding levels for higher education? Californians are divided about paying higher taxes for this purpose, but support for this idea has increased 8 points just since last year. Still, the idea of paying higher taxes divides California voters deeply along partisan lines. Californians remain opposed to increasing student fees, something that both the UCs and the CSUs recently announced that they plan to do. Voters across parties oppose this idea. A majority of Californians would support the idea of admitting more out-of-state students who pay higher tuition, but support drops substantially if this would mean fewer in-state students. Another important theme that emerged from the survey is a lack of confidence in the state government to plan for the future of the higher education system. The vast majority of Californians view the higher education system as a very important priority for the next governor in the near term, and for the future quality of life and economic vitality for the state over the next 20 years. Californians also recognize that there will be a shortage of college-educated workers for the jobs of the future, but a majority lacks confidence in the state government to plan accordingly, and this negativity is also reflected in low job approval ratings for the Governor Schwarzenegger and the state legislature on their handling of the higher education system. College is also considered important at the individual level, but Californians express serious concerns about affordability and access. Most say that a college education today is very important, and 2 and 3 view it as necessary for success in today's work world. 85% of residents believe that all qualified Californians should be given the opportunity to enroll in one of the state's public colleges or universities, despite the cost to the state. But the vast majority of residents believe that many qualified students lack the opportunity to go to college, and many see the price of college education as a barrier. These concerns about funding and affordability are not just theoretical. Parents in our survey are increasingly worried about affording college for their children. Since 2007, the percentage of parents saying they are very worried about this has increased 14 points. Most parents would like their children to achieve a college or postgraduate degree, but 6 in 10 feel they are behind in saving for this outcome. I'd like to thank you for listening today. The full report can be found at ppic.org.